My dear students, I've got the chance to meet you after a long time, and for the last few months, I am taking the class on online. It's a matter of great that still today I am not getting the chance to meet you or to take the class face to face, and that's why we are compelled to take the class on online. And in my last classes, I told you about the human relationships, etiquette and manners. And then I also told you about the story. I think a little boy who was 10 years old and suddenly got a photograph, and he would like to talk about this photograph with his grandmother. And so I would like to read out the text, and you have to read also. I was 10 years old. My grandmother sat on the string bed under the mango tree. It was late summer and there were sunflowers in the garden and a warm wind in the tree. My grandmother was knitting a woolen scarf for the winter months. She was very old, dressed in a plain white sari. Her eyes were not very strong now, but her fingers moved quickly with the needles, and the needles kept clicking all the afternoon. Grandmother had white hair, but there were very few wrinkles on her skin. Here the little boy is telling about his grandmother, who was old at present, and she was knitting a woolen scarf. The boy would like to say that is the hair of his grandmother became grey, and still today he is still today she can work needlework very perfectly. And the boy would like to say there are some of the wrinkles on her skin. I had come home after playing a cricket on the Maidan. I had taken my meal, and now I was rummaging in a box of the old books and family heirlooms that had that day been brought out of the attic by my mother. That is, after coming from school and after taking the mail, the boy would like to searching something from an old box, and that was belonged to his families earlier. And then just he got the chance to see about a book that is got by his mother. Nothing in the box interested me very much except for a book with colorful pictures of the birds and butterflies. As a boy, he prefers to look to see the book which brings some of the colorful photos. I was going through the book looking at the pictures when I found a small photograph between the pages. And when he was going through the book, suddenly he got a photograph there. It was a faded picture. A little young, a little yellow and foggy. It was a picture of a girl standing against the wall, and behind the wall there was nothing but the sky. I think here the boy has given the description of nature, and that is the bird, sky, and from the other side a pair of hands reached up, and as though someone was going to climb the wall. There were flowers growing near the girls, but could not tell what they were. There was creeper too, but it was just a creeper. And here the boy has given the description of the surroundings. I ran out into the garden granny. I shouted, "Look at the picture," and I found it in the box of the old things. Whose picture it is? The boy told his grandmother about the picture, and just he was interested to know about who belongs to the picture. I jumped on the bed beside my grandmother, and she helped me on the button. I said, "Now I have lost count of my stitches, and the next time you would do that, I will make you finish the scarf yourself." Okay, the boy wanted to know about the photos, and the grandmother would like to avoid to say actually give him the perfect answer. She took the photographs from my hand, and we both stared it for quite a long time. The grandmother was looking at the photograph for a long time. The girl had long, loose hair, and she wore a long dress that nearly covered her ankles, and the sleeves that reached her wrist, and there were a lot of bangles on her hand. The photos also gives the description about the lady also. But despite all this drapery, the girl appeared to be full of freedom and movement. Sorry. Thus, the photo also indicates that the girl was also the lover of the freedom completely, and she stood with her legs apart and her hands on her hips, and she had a wide and almost a devilish smile on her face. Just here, it bears the description giving the pose of the photos, and there is also a smiling, and that is here the boy would like to say it was a devilish smile also. Whose picture is it? I asked. A little girl, of course, said, "Grandmother, can you tell?" Yeah, but did you know the girl? And that is, I think this is the conversation between the young boy and his grandmother. The boy felt interest to know about the identity of the girl, but the grandmother was not interested to give the direct answer of his question. Yes, I knew her, said Granny, but she was a very weak girl and I should not tell you about her. But I shall tell you about the photograph. It was taken in your grandmother's house and about 60 years ago, and that is the garden wall, and over the wall there was a road going to town. Here the grandmother has given the description in which situation the photograph was taken. Whose hands are they? I asked, coming up from the other side. Again the boy would like to say about the hands which had been in the photographs. The grandmother squinted and looked closely at the picture and shook her head. It is the first time I have noticed, she said. Again, would like to say this is for the first time she would like to see it. And those must have been the sweeper's voice, or maybe they were your grandfather's. And just the grandmother would like to make a joke about the hands that was existed in the photos, and she would like to the hands belongs to belongs maybe to his grandfather or any other else. And they don't look like grandfather, said. I said, his hands are all bony. The young boy would like to say, the hands of the photographs was very bony. And say, yes, and that was 60 years ago. I think that is 60 years ago. And they didn't climb up the wall after the photo. No, nobody climbed up. At least I don't remember. And you remember well, Granny. Yes, I remember that what is not in the photograph. It was a spring day and there was a cool breeze blowing, nothing like this. I think here the grandmother would like to give the description of nature. That was in the time of 60 years ago. Those flowers at the girl's feet, they are marigolds. They are marigolds and the Bonvillak river, and it was a mass of purple. That is, the nature was very beautiful. You can't see the colors in the photo. Even if you could, as nowadays you would be able to smell the flowers and feel the breeze. That is, here the grandmother would like to say that actually the actual or perfect presentation of nature was very enjoyable, and that could not be imagined easily by that young boy. And what about the girl? I say, tell me about the girl. While she was a weak girl, said Granny, you don't know the trouble they had getting her into those fine clothes she was wearing. Who was the girl? I said, you must tell me who she was. Oh no, that would do, grandmother, but I pretend I did not know. I knew because grandmother is still smiled in the same way, even though she did not have as many teeth. And come on, Granny, I said, tell me, tell me. But grandmother shook her head and cried. I carried on the knitting and I held the photographs in my hand, looking from it to my grandmother and back again, and trying to find points in common between the old lady and the little pigtail girl. A lemon-colored butterfly settled on the end of the grandmother's knitting needles and stayed there while the needles clicked away. I made a grab at the butterfly and it flew away in a dipping flight and settled on a sunflower. I wondered whose hands they were, whispered grandmother to herself with her head bowed and her needles clicking away in the soft warm silence that of the summer afternoon. That is, the photographs bears the incident when the grandmother of the little boy was young, and she took the photograph, and in the photograph you will also get the information about the nature that was existed. Okay, thank you all.